Hey everyone, Kat Calm here with Studio Sweat On Demand, and our guest of the day is so special. This is Mike, Master Mike is what you guys know him as, and we are here for our trainer talk. We're going to take a deeper dive into learning all that is Mike McCardle.
Not much there.
I disagree.
Okay.
You're one of my favorite people in the world, Mike. So,
thank you.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully, those of you that went to the Facebook page have been rerouted over to our live classes page so that you're watching this. Otherwise, I guess you're not hearing me, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
I know. I don't even know why I said it. So
It's like being at home for me.
Right?
I speak, but it's a vacuum.
Oh, okay. So
no
we
one
learned our
listens.
first thing about Mike already.
Well, that's why I teach. It's the 1 hour a day where everybody does exactly what I say. And then for the next 23 hours, it's gone. Nobody listens to me.
I think we can all resonate with that. So here's the format for today. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Mike is not aware of any of the questions that we're going to ask him. You probably are going to cry and laugh. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Hopefully just laugh. And then those of you that are watching this trainer talk, you can post comments, and Jessica will read those out loud so that we can see your questions for Mike. So it's all about you today, buddy.
Does it start off asking about my relationship with my mother or something like that?
Yeah, that's question number one.
'Cause that-
Tell me about your relationship with your mother. Look, you brought this on yourself. You opened that door.
Sadly, she passed away 2 years ago. She had a massive stroke.
Ouch.
And, well, here's the thing, though. She made it to about 83.
That's great.
83.
Though. That's incredible.
And started smoking at age 15.
Oh.
And continued.
That always trips me out.
It's so unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not unusual. It's scary.
Yeah.
That which should kill you, you can defeat for some reason. Some people just have the genes to do so.
Look, you just never know. Is the bottom
Exactly.
line. I could be done and walk out the door and get hit by a bus today.
That's right. So I started smoking.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to add a couple more years to my life. Just thought it'd be good to pick up something.
You are joking, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, very good. But we will continue to drink our coffee.
Drink coffee.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. My mom passed away a few years ago, too,
Oh,
so I
I'm
totally
sorry.
get it. And she passed away young.
Oh.
I thought she was young
Yeah.
anyway. She was in her late 60s, so to me
That
that was
is
young.
Yeah.
But her diet was just sugar, which
Oh.
is processed by the body
Yeah.
like alcohol.
Yeah,
Which is
same
what,
thing.
yeah, she didn't drink at all really, but she ate a lot of sugar. So, wow, we
Okay.
need to we need to come up with a more fun, uplifting
Yeah.
topic. But
Death and diets.
yeah.
There you go. Thanks for watching Death and Diets.
all right, you guys. My first question:
Okay.
What got you into cycling?
Oh, that's a good question. I was actually more addicted to running. But then I took a road trip years and years ago and realized I'm not seeing...
When you say years and years ago, let's give it a little bit more context. Like how many years ago do you mean?
I was 18, so that would be
5.
20 years ago. It was in the late 70s. Okay. And I realized by running, I loved running, but I wasn't seeing as much of the topography in the world as I could if I went further. So I thought, I should start cycling. So I just picked out a couple of different rigs and started riding.
Wow.
And I really enjoyed it. I got addicted to riding by myself.
Yeah. That was your me time?
Yeah, it's just, I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it. And then one day, my roommate in college said, I'm going to do this new race. It's brand new. It starts in Hawaii. It's called the Ironman.
Did you do the Ironman?
No, he did, the very first one.
I was like, wow.
No. But he said, but I got to train. He goes, can you help me with my cycling? And I said,
Okay,
sure,
cool.
I'll cycle with you. So
Yeah.
we started riding and riding and riding. He tried to talk me into doing the Ironman, and I said, nah, I don't really want to.
Not on your bucket list, huh?
No.
Mine either.
Only because...
Rebecca, all you, baby.
Well, no, it's great. But the thing was, he had to have his structured workouts. I have to get my swim in. I have to get my run in. And I like waking up in the morning thinking, I'm going to run today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, today's a good swim day.
I love those days.
Because
yeah.
you just do it. It's
Yeah.
not part of your day.
Right.
It's the escape from your day. So
Yeah, oh.
that's what cycling became. Cycling became my escape from being stuck somewhere.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, well, so that's how you started. Where did the transition into indoor cycling come in?
So I had a couple of outdoor accidents.
Yeah.
One of which was kind of bad. I had injured my head. This was pre-helmet days. Nobody thought about helmets when I started cycling.
Yep.
Nobody did. My neurologist said, that's not good. You do another one and you can have an aneurysm.
Oh, boy.
You hit your head again.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I should just start riding indoors a little bit more. So I was at a gym one day, and I used to go to, I think it was the fitness. I would go into the cycling room by myself and ride.
Yeah.
And I would ride for an hour or two. One day there were a bunch of people coming in, and they were there for a class, but no instructor showed up.
Oh.
So I said, well, I had my music. I said, if you guys want, I'm riding.
No way.
I said, you guys can ride with me if you want.
So now we're talking about the transition into instructing.
Well, yeah, that's what happened.
I think that's my next question. Very good.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So, well, let me continue. So they said, well, that was really fun. And they went and told the front desk, this guy's in there. He's really good.
Yeah.
And they said, would you like to stick around and teach some classes? And I said, yeah, okay. It's just
Great.
a workout.
Yeah. Get paid, free membership.
Yeah. You're going to pay me to ride what I was going to do anyway?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that.
Fantastic.
So that was it.
Great. Now let's talk about the transition to Studio Sweat.
Oh.
Just out of curiosity. So I'm going to tell the story.
It's your story,
it's my
actually.
story now. So it's my trainer talk now. I'm hijacking it. So when I moved to San Diego from Seattle, I was not spinning very much. I had tried a lot of different instructors' classes. Am I holding the mic too low? Sorry, so it's better. Okay, thank you. I had tried a lot of instructors' classes, and to be honest, I really didn't like any of them. It's true. I must have tried 20 different instructors. You were one of them, and you were the only one I did like. There was one other one, Luana.
Yeah,
Luana. I liked her because she tempo rode. But of the 20, so I wasn't doing very much, and it didn't take me long to realize that I was into almost a little bit of a depression, which I didn't understand. I've never experienced that in my life. It dawned on me that it was because I wasn't spinning that much. And I think the adrenaline and the endorphins and that kind of release wasn't happening. And it was affecting me. It's like when you have something and then you take it away. And so long story short, I ended up opening my own studio.
Right.
You know what? If I don't like you, I'm just going to teach my own classes. So
that's great. That's
yeah.
Good.
And immediately I started feeling better, which is fantastic. But I only, of all the instructors in San Diego that I had taken classes with, you were the only one that I brought on. Meredith was my first instructor actually at Studio Sweat, Meredith Honer, but she was green when I brought her in. You were not. You were the first instructor and only instructor that I really wanted. Do you remember?
I do. I remember when you very first approached me.
Yeah. Tell me. I don't remember it.
You came up after a class. We were in another gym. Excuse me. And you came up and introduced yourself and said, I'm here from Seattle and I'm going to be opening a gym and I'd like to know if you'd be interested in teaching. And I thought, well, yeah, okay, that sounds pretty bold. I really was impressed by the fact that you were just taking... I was working in this conglomerate gym, this nationwide, thousands of them everywhere.
Sure.
All the same cookie cutters.
Yep.
I love the idea that, you mean we can do something different?
Right.
It
was a boutique studio, yeah.
I could teach the way I wanted to teach because once I started instructing, they started giving me parameters.
Yeah, and
this is what the class should look like.
Yeah.
This is the music you should use. And I thought, well, why do I want to do that? That's like forcing me into a workout that's not me.
Yeah.
And so you allowed me to sort of paint. You brought a blank canvas and said, can you help me paint a gym?
I'm so glad that we were able to do that.
Great.
Yeah, that's one of the things at Studio Sweat and Studio Sweat On Demand that we're always telling our instructors is that all of you have unique personalities. You have unique ways that you like to teach your classes. We do have certain parameters that we put in and, guidelines that we give.
Stay on the bike.
Yeah.
Don't bring a bunch of weights on top of the bike.
Exactly.
With you.
Don't do handstands on the bike. Stuff like that.
Push-ups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those kind of things. But other than that, I really like you guys to just format your own classes and bring your own personality.
That's why I've stuck with it for so long. It's wonderful.
Yep. I think so. I think so.
The pay's not great.
Hey,
kidding. Just kidding.
He's not wrong. It's pretty good.
I had to pay $2 for this coffee. Come on.
Which Brian brought him. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Thanks, babe.
Okay. Thanks, babe. We were just talking about, well, Mike brought this up. Go ahead, Mike. Tell
Kat
me.
has a really kind way of sort of asking Brian to do things. But what I like is she attaches the word babe at the end of everything. Brian, get the vacuum out, babe. And he's like, oh, okay. Like the minute you add babe, it's like, oh, she likes me. I think I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Brian, bring Mike some coffee, babe.
Tell him what you said about I think it's funny. So you got to say about the one in the South that.
Oh, in the South, I was raised in the South, and two things you learned in the South. First of all, you spoke to any adult. You never finished a sentence without the word sir or ma'am.
Very respectful.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And
actually.
secondly, anything you say that might be construed to be negative, you could offset by saying, bless his or her little heart. Like, well, that is one homely looking baby, bless her little heart. And that's sort of like, it's an insult, but you blessed her heart.
It's so backhanded.
It really is. You know,
You're so dumb. Bless your little heart.
Yes, you are. Bless your little heart.
Oh my gosh. You're so funny, Mike. I'm always entertained by you. People talk about how your classes are different, and I will say in a good way, than most of the other instructors, not just at Studio Sweat, but in general. Do you agree? And what do you think makes your style different? And what kind of people would enjoy your classes that might not enjoy other classes?
Okay.
I think I said that wrong, but I think you understand
I
what
understand
I'm asking.
what you're saying. Yeah, well, I agree. My style is different. I agree. It's going to sound very strange when I describe this. When I used to cycle, I said earlier, I love riding by myself. I teach as if I'm riding by myself, but I'm telling you how to ride with me by yourself. So it's a partnership, but it's not. You're not
dictatorship.
It's not a dictatorship, right? You're not subjected to my commands. I don't really command in my class. I don't say everybody up, everybody down, everybody do this, everybody do that. It's like, here's what we're going to do for the next song. We're going to ride for 2 minutes. We're going to do a 30-second breakaway, and then we're going to ride again steady, and then we're going to climb. So you can, in your mind, form how hard you want to work. Hopefully, I can inspire you to try to match my tempo, match my gear.
Effort level, yeah.
And in so doing, it's 50 individuals riding together.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to foster.
I love it. Yeah. I love your classes. You know that. I mean, obviously, based on what we were talking about before.
I think the greatest compliment I ever had once was a woman came up to me after class and said, I really enjoy your class, but it wasn't that hard. And I thought, well, that is flattering because that you got a good workout, didn't you? She said, yes.
Yeah.
And I said, well, then if you want it to be harder, that's on you.
Right. It is.
It's on you. It's not on me. You got the workout that I wanted you to get.
Yeah.
If you wanted more, give more.
Yeah, step up your game.
Step up your game.
Yeah.
My game's solid.
That's what I'll tell people that as well. I'll say, look, this is your workout. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to guide you, but it's your workout. You're going to get out of it what you put into it.
I'll have people that will want to work hard. And I jokingly say, look, I'm not riding to compete. I'm not competing with you people. I'm riding with you. If we were competing, you would all be going out for second place. So,
boom. Mike, drop.
What else is it? This isn't a competition.
Yeah.
You're behind me. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're going to be behind me. I can't help that.
Yes, you may draft behind me.
That's right.
Because that's the closest you're going to get.
And you can draft because I can let you.
Yes, I love it.
Otherwise, I'll break away and I'm solo. You're on your own.
Humble but true. Humble but true.
I'm kidding. Okay.
No, I'm with you, Mike. Okay. I tell that with people too, and that's always my goal is that they get the workout that they want.
Right.
In our classes, but you do have a little bit more of a road cycling. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, my moves have longevity.
Right. Yeah.
The analogy I constantly use is stair climbing. If I got into a building and climbed 3 flights of stairs, I'd feel like okay. But if I got to the 12th floor, the 30th floor, I'm dying. Mm-hmm. I'm doing the exact same motion. But I'm dying now.
So much harder.
Yeah,
You've lost your endurance.
Yeah, you got to get to that threshold. So you got to spend some time on a certain move in order to fatigue, so that you can then develop.
Yep.
And that's what I do. I take
base building blocks.
Yeah, longer sets.
Yes.
Longer.
You are known for that. Your songs are generally longer.
Yes.
And you like to blend your music together,
Right.
and I like that. I will tell you, I don't get to take your classes that often. But I'm always pretty sore after I do. And it's kind of like that lady. It's like Did that kill me? No. But you know what? They're not really meant to kill you. They're meant to challenge you.
It's the greatest compliment I get online from
Yeah.
people on demand when they respond to my class and say, I'm exhausted, but I'm not torn up.
Right.
Like that was a great
I'm
workout.
actually sore. I am sore after your classes
Yeah.
because I don't get to take them, and it's that continuous movement, you know, the repetition. So I do actually get sore, but to me, it's always a good sore.
It's a fatigue sore.
Yeah.
It's not a exertion sore.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
It's the difference between taking a 30-pound weight and doing 12 curls versus a 60-pound weight and doing 2.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you. Well, I think I do have a few more questions, but I want to bring it to the people.
Ooh,
The people,
the
and I want to
masses.
let the masses ask you some questions first, but so I don't dominate. I tend to do that. Like I dominate.
Really?
Like,
I don't know that about you.
it's super shocking. Did you hear? I know you probably didn't see it, but my sister just got announced as controller. And I was like, that's so fitting. Like,
Well, wait a second.
first of all,
did you give up the title?
It runs in the family. Is all
Oh,
I'm
I thought
saying.
that's what you meant. I thought it was a family title.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So congratulations to my sister.
Very good.
But anyways, I thought it was fitting. So, okay, Jess is here. Jess is our moderator, and she does such a fantastic job. You have also seen her online. Everyone say hello to Jess.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Good morning, babe.
You can only hear her, but her voice is super sexy. Yeah.
Sometimes I like to pretend like I'm answering a phone
What kind? Who's on the other line?
Is this one of those?
before 9 p.m.
Oh, it's not one of those 900
No,
numbers, is it? Okay.
no, but you know, my first job when I was in college was at Nordstrom, and I'd answer the phone.
Oh.
And so it's like they literally coach you how to talk on the phone.
Sure.
And I've never lost it.
Hello, thanks for calling
Yeah, so my-
Nordstrom. This is Jessica.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't lost it, so it's just like I put something here, and I just gotta talk nice.
I was in Atlanta, Georgia, working once, and I was in a gym, and the woman that would announce phone calls over the speaker system had the greatest phone voice. She'd be like, Joe Smith, line 119. Joe Smith, 119, please, Joe.
Right? But then they
Whoa.
stop talking on the phone, and then it's like their voice is totally different. You're like, what?
Who are you?
Who are
Yeah,
you?
they're like,
Yeah.
Hey, give me my cigarette.
Yeah.
We Mod,
Babe.
Give me my coffee.
We-
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
That's so funny. We had an instructor for a little while that had microphone
Right.
coaching, and it was funny. She sounded to me like, and this is going to show my age, but she sounded like Casey Kasem when she was teaching her class. She was like, "All right, everybody, and we're gonna get up in 3 and 2 and 1."
And now we're playing our top 40.
Yeah. Do you?
I don't know
Straight
who that
from-
is.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City.
She doesn't train for us anymore, but I was just like, and then it did. She'd actually continue when
Right.
the mic wasn't on. It would continue on, so that was kind of weird too. Anyways, okay. What's our first question, Jess?
So it's actually from Andrew. You know, our
I know
Andrew,
Andrew.
from
Andrew
our
from
Scott.
Scotland.
Yeah,
Dying to hear your question, Andrew.
I know.
I'm dying
I
to
just-
hear
That
want
it.
him
was
to come
really
visit
bad.
us in
Actually,
studio.
I thought it was going to be better.
really harness it next time.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
He asked, how do you find spinning compares to outdoor cycling? Because, you know, Andrew lately has been doing both.
Yeah.
And so he's just trying to find the balance of,
Indoor, outdoor, and running. He's been doing all 3.
Right. Yeah.
so
So how
the
do
benefit
I,
of
the,
both. He's
The benefit of indoor is there are no downhills. So I can condense a ride.
Well, unless you're at that big box gym
Yeah,
that you were talking about.
exactly. So I'm going to be riding steadily for a long period of time. I'm not going to take any breaks. But then that becomes the benefit of outdoor riding,
True.
is that I do get to assault a hill, knowing I can coast down and recover. So outdoors, I can push myself harder if I want to use it as a training mechanism. I tended to want to do indoor training, outdoor riding. I tended to not want to use my outdoors to really overexert because I wanted longevity of ride. The only competing I did, I don't do it anymore, Andrew, is I would do century rides, 100-mile.
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
My claim to fame, I've done 273. I wanted to do enough century rides to circle the globe. That was my goal.
And
When
you
I-
did?
Yeah. When I was young, when I was like 20, I said, I'm going to circle the globe. I'm going to keep doing these until I get more than 26,000 miles on my
That's
bike.
so cool.
And so going back to your question, Andrew, you're such a good athlete. I think you're doing a good job blending what you do. You really push your indoor, take your outdoor and use it to your advantage to just enjoy the benefits of what you're doing indoors. Make one be the complement to the other as opposed to making them parallel to each other. That's when you get fried. You get burned out a little bit.
That's good advice. I've had a lot of people tell me how much stronger their outdoor riding has gotten since they started spinning. And the same thing happened to me with mountain biking, so I get it.
I attribute a lot of that to the fact, again, that there are very few breaks when you're indoor working out.
Yeah.
You just push yourself.
Yep.
And so that then you get outside, you feel like, oh, this is great. Plus, indoor riding is difficult in that you have the same environment staring you in the face.
Yep.
That's why a lot of companies put up screens and pretend like you're riding. You're pretending. It's not riding.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't do that. But it is, it is what it is.
Yep. Very cool. Yeah, those are fun. Those simulators are pretty fun. But I've done it a few times. But it's it's not what we do at Studio Sweat. That's not our jam. We save that for Zwift and the companies that do that and do it well. So, okay, cool. Good question, Andrew. What do we got next, Jess?
Next, we have Alan Bola. He has a couple questions. One he just wrote in on the live stream, and then another one he submitted earlier, like as soon as the post was on our Facebook. And that one was, what brand do you recommend? And he wasn't specific, so maybe answer bike and shoes. I don't know. He just said.
Alan, what brand what?
What brand? Gosh.
I'm assuming probably bike and attire.
I try not to offer. I'm not trying to avoid the question. I try to offer brand device.
Here's what I can't answer that, but here's what I can tell you. Such an old politician response.
The only reason being, it depends on what your ride is. It depends on what your terrain is. It depends on what your skill set is. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. There's so many factors. I don't want to just give an answer and then someone goes out and picks up. If I say, you need a hollow tube Cannondale.
What do you use?
A Cannondale. So, it's old school. I like it. It's just it's a good
How
rig.
old is your bike? Outdoor bike?
I want to say, what is this? 2019. I bought it in 8.
It's 2019.
It's about
just so you know.
9 years. It's about 9 years. It's old. It's dated because the equipment changes so fast. I update my derailleurs and things. I change things out. I change my brakes. I change my derailleur and things like that. Change my chains. Change my teeth depending on where I'm riding. I don't ride that much outdoors anymore though. So.
Why?
Well, okay, so a while back I had a bike and I got in an accident and it snapped my frame, and that was $5,000. I got a replacement bike and had another
Was that
accident.
The pins in your leg or the bike for $5,000?
The bike.
Was the $5,000?
The bike.
Really smart.
And I bought another one and that one got damaged in an accident, and I went out to get another bike and I got a phone call and my wife said, "You're not spending another $5,000 on a bike, I was like,
she's done.
I'm done. That was my retirement.
Yeah, but you do ride outside again now, don't you?
I do. I don't have.
You took a break, right?
I took a break. I don't have a ride anymore. I got rid of my bikes.
Okay.
But I have a neighbor, and he has like 6 of them.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
so he's open door. He says anytime you want to grab a
boys
rig.
and their toys.
Yeah, you grab a rig and ride. The fun part is my pals I used to ride with that lived in Santa Barbara, they're up in Oregon now. So they don't know that I'm teaching spin. Mm-hmm. They just thought I quit riding completely. So I'll go up to Bend and they'll say, "You want to do a ride?" I'll say, "Okay."
Oh, it's been a while, but
yeah. And they'll go,
I guess I'll just get one in.
"We'll do an easy loop." I said, No, let's just do your ride and I'll ride along.
Yeah, if I have to drop back, I'll drop back.
If I have to drop, I'll drop.
And then you smoke them, don't you?
Oh, totally up the hill.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dude, what the heck?"
You're like, I'm just a natural.
It's genetic.
I
can't help it. It's just genetic.
I'm telling you.
I got cycling genes.
You just tell them it's the Oregon air. It's real crisp and clean. And you're like, I can breathe my lungs.
Yeah, down in Southern California, it's
hard,
difficult, man.
No, I've done that too. Same thing. Like we've hopped into a couple of triathlons that we haven't trained for.
Right.
And when we get, I'm not a great swimmer. I mean, I cannot drown. That's about as far as. And sometimes I do drown a little. But then the second I get on the bike, like I'll smoke people. Like the longer the bike, the better. We had this one sprint try that we did, and the bike was 18 miles, which it's long for a sprint. And we just made up ground on everybody. And then all we had to do was just stay a little ahead on the run. And it was a Studio Sweat team. And didn't train much at all. And we smoked him on the bike.
That's awesome. So what was Alan's other question? I'm sorry, Alan. I know I didn't give you specific advice.
So he was trying to be... He answered back and said he was responding to the first part of the conversation about the cigarettes, and he was being funny. So he missed it.
I almost said Winston, but then I thought I don't want to keep pushing the smoking joke because people are going to think I think Mike's got a secret.
That's exactly what he was talking
Alan,
about.
I swear to you, I was going to say Winston is my brand.
You're not This is the
Marlboro
hardest.
So funny.
Marlboro man.
No, I am not.
Okay, that's in the
Stetson
new.
man.
That's
I'm
in
a,
the new.
I'm a Virginia Slim man.
Oh, you're watching your girlish
I
figure,
am.
right?
What's the slim behind? Anyways, okay. Enough about smoking. Okay, what is his other question?
He also wants to know, do you pre-workout hydrate? And
Oh, definitely.
If so, do you have a specific amount of ounces? How long before you hydrate? And then is there any sort of supplement that you put in your water, or do you just drink
No.
good old
Water.
water
Flavored water. It's
flavored
my
water?
best water.
Straight up
I
spring.
I pre-hydrate. That's why I don't really consume a lot. I drink before and after, but not during. I don't like
Water.
having a lot of water in my body when I'm riding,
That's how I am.
because then I end up having to use the bathroom later.
Yeah.
At least if
Oh,
you're
if it's a
outside, you can just
3-hour
pull over.
ride.
Right?
Ain't getting old. Great.
No, that's why all my socks are yellow. Yeah, I drink 16.9, one of the liter bottles, 16.9 ounces, about 60 to 90 minutes before I ride.
Yeah, the hour before.
Yeah, at least an hour.
Yeah.
I drink, just for 90 minutes to 60 minutes, for that 30-minute window, I'm consuming all that water.
Yeah.
Then I get on the bike and I ride, and then I drink a little while I ride, but when I'm done, I wait about 15 minutes and I start rehydrating again.
Yeah,
start the process again.
That's
Me
exactly
too.
what I do. Mm-hmm. That's why it's funny, because sometimes in the studio people will be like, "Oh, I don't drink water at all," and I'm like, "Before?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, if you're not
That's
gonna
why
drink it
you're
now,
not sweating.
at least- right?
Let me introduce you to 2 words you're going to learn soon: renal failure.
Yeah, your kidneys are gonna love you."
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Spot on.
All right, so now I have Miss Monique. She is from Nova Scotia, Canada. She's pretty active on our Facebook, and
I'm glad she said Canada, because I would have thought South
as-
America.
Yeah,
or something.
Nova Scotia, South
Oh,
America.
sorry. Yes,
Thanks.
she's
Hey, babe, Brian, babe,
Command coming.
could I have a tissue, babe?
when doing a significant climb outdoors.
Yes.
Do you stand or stay in the saddle, or does it just depend on how you're feeling at the moment?
Oh, great question. That's a great question. So I always tell people, why do cyclists stand? Because it's easier. Because I can add my body weight. So now it's my body weight versus gravity. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the saddle, it's my leg strength versus gravity. And so what do? Here we go. Tissue's coming in hot. So what, Miss Monique, what I'm doing is in the climb, if I feel it's a long climb and I want to take little breaks, I get out of the saddle and continue the climb, and that lets my legs stretch out, makes me feel good. I hop back down.
Gives your bum a break.
Yeah, it gives your bum a break. I hop back down and take the hill. If it's a training ride, I try to stay in the saddle as long as possible. I forget sometimes in class that I'm in the saddle for as long as I am.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, are we ever going to get up?
Well, that's where they can make it their own ride.
Right.
I just, coming soon. No, actually, we released it, but we didn't announce we released it. We did a 20-minute, it's just a 20-minute saddle up ride, meaning you're in the saddle the
That's
entire time. But of course, I gave people permission or encouragement to stand if they needed to stand and shake it out, because it goes back to you being an individual. And for example, believe it or not, if you have any sort of lower back, especially issues, standing is a good relief.
Yes.
And so it's funny though, because people think, oh, I have a bad back, I should stay in the saddle the whole time. And it's like, actually,
No, that's going to make it.
Yeah,
it's going to exacerbate
yeah.
the issue. The other thing, Monique, that I do is if it's a ride that there's not a lot of traffic, let's say it's a solo ride, I switch back. I'll do some switchbacks up the hill. I'll just
those
take
are
it
so hard.
just side to side, side to side, side to side. It adds distance, but it lets me continue the workout.
Oh, you mean switchbacks
Oh,
on
I
a
was
straight
like,
on a straight road.
straightaway.
On a straight road, I'll do
Oh.
switchbacks in order to alleviate some of the climb pressure.
Hi, Sandy. My dog's coming in to say hello. That's fine. She's being sweet. It's fine.
Sneaking slowly, babe.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I have Mary Chester. She says she had a similar, I'm not sure if it was a crash on a bike or what, but she has pins in her leg.
Ooh.
And she's
That's a shame,
healing now, but she's wondering how you got back into like the retrain after a crash or an injury. And
I wonder if it was mental and
It
physical.
was mental, Mary.
Yeah.
It was not the physical, and I'll caution you that it's
Hi, Sandy.
it's a version, and I'm not claiming that I suffered from this. It's a version of PTSD in that
Totally.
you get back on your bike and there's an anxiety that you can't explain that I discovered later, of fear anxiety, that you just become a little more cautious. And it got to the point where I would get back from a ride and be more stressed than before I started the ride.
That's not good.
And I thought that can't be good. But physically, whatever you think your recovery is in terms of what you think you can achieve, double that, and then that's the length of time you should take. In other words, if you think, oh, I should be back on the road in a month, give it 2.
Take 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
To take more time than you think you need. Your body and your mind will both appreciate it. Trust me.
Mary just told us she was from Vermont. I was asking her. Vermont, which is a lot like Oregon. It's very beautiful.
It is,
So
yeah.
Very mountainous.
Very mountainous.
A lot
very
of mountainous
beautiful.
climbs.
All right. So now I have.
Wait, can I say one other thing on that? The other thing that I like, because the roads scare me.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
reason roads scare me when I'm on a bike is because it's not in my control. And as you know,
Right.
my family likes to be in control.
Exactly.
And so that's when I started mountain biking, because if I crash, I did something wrong,
Right.
more than likely. And so that's another idea, is maybe do try some, just to start.
Yeah.
Go do some trail riding, and not like on a single track. I don't mean or anything like that, but like at Lake Poway here, we have those wide trails that we can go on and just get your sea legs, get yourself back used to your gearing and stuff like that. It's just another idea.
Yeah, I will caution you, try not to, if you're going to start mountain bike riding, don't do solo rides. You don't want to be out there by yourself, trust me.
Oh yeah.
You need someone
I don't
with
know
you.
if I've ever done one by myself.
Yeah, I have. It's the part of me that I have to wrestle with. And I had a wreck, and so I had to walk like 6 miles.
On your mountain bike?
Yeah, I had to walk it back.
Walk a bike. Yikes.
One time we were doing a triathlon up in Lake Paris. Meredith Honer was with us. She got, I kid you not, 3 flat tires. 3. She literally,
I think you should just
about to pick up her bike and throw it over her
Well, I'm
head.
surprised she had a repair kit for 3.
Well, it was
She
a
used all
triathlon,
your
so
guys's?
there she used ours. She
okay.
used people
Everybody.
that were helping with the
Don't get a
event,
flat.
and but her, one of the things that is a descriptor for Meredith Honer is tenacious.
Oh, she is.
She will go and
Yeah.
go and go.
So right on the rim.
She will ride ride that rim.
Sadly, one day in the future, Meredith will be in a coffin saying, I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
I got
No
this.
big
Don't you
deal.
worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I got this.
Love her. Okay.
Okay, so we have Brian in San Diego.
Oh, which part? I'm just kidding.
Just can you
Yeah.
stick
Right-
your head out
Yeah.
and
Why
ask
don't
me?
you just?
Right close to the gym
Okay.
somewhere.
All right. What's Brian in San Diego's question?
Mr. Mike, have you ever in your whole entire life been more excited to teach a class than you are for the one you
Coming
are
up on
filming
Monday.
on Monday?
No, never. Actually, I'm really looking forward to it because I love the way Brian rides. We have different styles, but he makes it work as if it's my ride, so it's really cool. So I like the fact that he doesn't subjugate himself. He complements my ride, and being able to ride with him inspires me because he's so damn strong.
His legs are tree trunks.
It's just ridiculous.
I looked at him jokingly last night, and I
yeah.
said, you got chicken legs.
Brian doesn't skip leg
You-
day.
if-
Oh, he doesn't have. It's
Hopefully this
natural,
where
like
does
a
this
lot of
camera?
it.
Like waist height? Does it cut? Doesn't show my legs, right? You would never think I'm a cyclist if you saw my legs. You just would.
You do have kind of bony legs for a
Bony
cyclist,
legs.
yeah.
It's
Here's
I
the
know.
thing, though. Like I do too.
Yeah.
But it took. I would say I didn't have calf muscles before. Really, they were like you couldn't really see them.
Right.
Until it took 5 years of spinning before I developed actual like calf muscles that you could see. Where Brian's legs are like from his hips to
now. Let
his
me ask you
ankles
this:
are like
what
giant.
What are calf muscles?
Yeah, cow. Hey, they're baby. They're baby cows.
Oh,
Yeah.
little baby cow
Yeah,
legs.
exactly. Now you know.
Oh, look at cows. I mean, they're big
Yeah.
and burly, but they got little skinny legs. So
That's
what's the
true.
No big deal.
That's true. So for those of you that don't know, this Monday we are filming a really, really cool class that's called Chutes and Ladders. And that is with Mike and Brian. So they're going to tag
looking
team
forward to
teach
it.
that.
So
And
that's what we're talking, that little
Yeah.
teaser he's
Yep.
wanting to know. How
Looking
and
forward
the chute is like shoe.
Shoot, that was hard.
That's the chute.
Shoot.
And
What the hell are we doing
Yeah.
this for?
The ladder is you
Who
get
wrote
it.
this
Those are
workout?
so it'll be a mix between ladder drills and shoe or drills that make you say
Oh,
shoe.
You mean like climbing a ladder.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just in the future, in
Yeah,
abeyance.
later. Later.
We do
Late
chutes and then
ladder.
ladder. The former and then the ladder.
Exactly. Oh, that kind of ladder. Nope. So that's coming.
Okay.
I'm not sure when it releases, but it's being
Gonna be
filmed
good.
on Monday. And it's probably going to be our most popular class of the year. I think. I don't know.
Oh.
You guys will be a great mix. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
it too. All right. So I have Miss Kathy from Powell, Wyoming. She would like to know. Sorry.
Wyoming's beautiful. That's some nice
Never
riding.
been. I want to.
Oh.
I know. I want to go.
That's some great riding area.
She would like to know how you build up your speed on a spin bike because it's regarding. She says she can't seem to get past 105, and someone once told her to point her feet down, like toes down.
Well, first of all, let's back up.
Thank you. We're gonna back up.
105 is a good speed. I try to max at 115.
Yeah.
105 is plenty fast. It's relative to who you are. It's not. That's the one problem I have with cadence is depending on the gear you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I could be doing 100 RPM, but if I have enough gear, I'm covering a lot more territory than someone who's in a lower gear going at a faster spin.
Right.
And the problem with the difference between indoor and outdoor is they're almost exactly the opposite in terms of how you set your gear and your foot speed.
I know we always say,
this.
We're going to take on a hill. And I mean, but whatever, it is what it is.
Well, yeah, because outdoors, if I take on a hill, I drop my gear and get my feet moving.
Exactly.
faster. I want to keep my foot speed the same. I don't get
But
on a
it's
bike outside and go, oh, look, a big hill. I'm going to add some gear and try to slow the crap down out of my
Exactly.
legs
Because
and
the
kill
hill is
myself.
the gear.
The hill is the gear.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So as far as toes down, I'm not a huge fan unless you're going to perfect the flip, and that is adding if my toe is down not because I'm pushing, it's because I'm pulling.
Right,
It's
and you
the
drive your
pull.
heel up.
And when I pull, I flip my foot over the top while the other foot pushes, and then I flip over the top. So answering your question, the way to get your speed is to learn to balance the push-pull, not just your foot position.
We've got some good vlogs on that. So I would
Good.
suggest looking those up if you want the real details on that.
But 105, that's impressive. That's good speed. Trust
Yeah.
me.
It is
105
really
great
good speed, as a matter of fact. But I think what happens sometimes is that people will take other classes where they'll see people going
120.
120. 115 is that's max. Like, and I'll always tell people, shoot for the moon, land on the stars. Like, if your goal is 114, which is, I mean, honestly, of let's say 20 hours of cycling that I do indoor,
Yeah.
that would be 1 minute of it in my whole, like, you know what
the
I mean?
whole 20.
Yeah,
No, I
something
agree.
like that. But I feel like it also depends on the length of your legs in some ways, because you look at like Miriam and Bethany,
Yeah.
and they are
Right.
so, like, I mean, if you're taller, that revolution is not going to be the same as someone who's shorter. I mean, it's not so.
Yeah, I don't even think Bethany's legs bend when she's on
Not
the bike.
much.
I think they
No.
go like this.
Yeah, they just squish, huh?
Yeah.
Compressed.
And Miriam's the
little
same,
coils.
just this almost the same height as her. And so, like, that's what I was talking to Miriam about. She's newer to teaching indoor cycling, as you know, and she just got certified. And so one of the things that I was talking to her about was, like, you have to understand that, yes, you like to warm up at that higher speed.
Oh, yeah.
And she was very receptive to this, and she was very appreciative for this conversation. But
Well, that's the one thing new instructors don't realize, and
Yeah.
that is the thing that you're really good at, a lot of people are not good at.
Right.
So don't just sell what you're good at.
Yep.
Offer some things that you're not good at and let them know. I hate doing this because I'm not good at it, but I'm going to work on it and try to improve.
Yep.
That way,
That's
the,
your challenge,
the
yeah.
people riding with you feel like, oh, good, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I struggle with that too. It's
Yep.
like, yeah.
That's what we're about. Like,
Right.
at Studio Sweat, though, we're about being real and not being perfect and working on the things that we should be working on or that we could be working on. So,
Right.
no, and she was super open to that. So that was cool.
So actually, somebody kind of added on to Kathy's question. Miss Page, she said, specifically for standing climbs, how do you build your RPMs? So one is asking more
That's
about
great.
this top end speed, one's asking
Yeah.
more of like the standing.
Well, again, if you're talking indoors and you want to build your RPM, it's really about learning how to position yourself in terms of balance. So what I would suggest is this. Practice with no gear. Get up out of the saddle, turn your gear way down, and just slowly move your feet and realize, oh, I've got to figure out how to keep my balance without having any resistance. And that's going to help you learn how to position your body on the bike. People tend to get it out of position when they're climbing, and because of that, they can't accelerate their foot speed.
What's the number one out of body position. Or body out of position, I should say.
It's
What's your tell me about your out of body experiences.
Out of body experience.
my out of body.
I don't know how I
Levitate,
run this
levitate.
business sometimes.
What I work on,
Levitate.
it's Paige, right?
Page.
Yes.
Miss Page is trying not to allow my legs to straighten out completely. I try to keep a slight flex in my legs so that they're just sort of just replacing one another. My body's not going up and down much. My legs are just moving. So I sort of get the feeling that I have two parts of me on a bike when I'm out of the saddle, from the waist up and from the waist down. And from the waist down is doing all the movement, and the waist up, it's almost like I get to the point where you really can't tell I'm out of the saddle if you only saw my shoulders and my head. I don't have a lot of up and down. Just working on how to get yourself to that point where you're not expending energy moving your body up and down.
Little side to side though, right? On the indoor bike.
Yeah, you have to, because the frame is so darn solid. It's not torquing like a regular
Right.
outdoor bike does.
So an outdoor bike, it's going to do the movement for you.
The outdoor bike, because the frames are flexible. If it's hollow tubing, they try to make it less flexible, but the frame itself actually torques slightly, and that takes some of the tension off your legs. The indoor bikes, because they're so solid, you don't want to be too stationary, especially if you add gear.
Right.
When I'm talking about being still and not straightening your legs, I'm talking about a lower gear, higher foot speed. That's what I'm working on. If I add gear, I'm adding the up and down and the side to side.
So she checks her balance position, her body position, and to learn how to gain speed. What else?
A little bit more upright in terms of where you would be on a regular climb. On an outdoor climb, out of the saddle, I'd be down a little bit and a lot of this type of movement. On an indoor, I'm going to be a little bit taller.
So more like on the outdoor, this is my hips.
Yeah.
On an outdoor, I might be like that.
Right.
What you're saying, and on an indoor, you might open that V a little bit.
Open that V up.
I like the
Straighten-
visualization.
Straighten it
that's
up
why.
a little bit.
Yeah.
That way.
Still a V position.
Yeah. And the other thing
just-
is the amount of pressure on your handlebars. In a hard climb, I'm putting weight forward. On a balanced climb for
Yeah.
speed, I'm trying to get weight off my handlebars.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep nice and loose.
So maybe on an indoor bike, you might slide your hands from position 3 to like 2.5 or
Yes.
something like
Yeah.
that to shift the balance.
Right.
Yep. I love it. Okay.
So I have a couple more questions, but there's one that I've been dying to ask you myself.
No, don't give up your life just over a question.
dying.
So not give up your life for the sake of a question.
Kind of like a 1-part, 2-part. What is your speed on the bike cadence that you have a tough time hanging out in? Like what speed? Is it 65? Is it 75? Is it 80?
That's a great question. It's
like,
it's
where do you
not a
feel like-
speed. It's not the speed that I can't do. It's the speed that I want to do that I have trouble with. I want to stay 90 and above.
Okay.
I have a hard time when it's like 84, 80.
what-
It's like,
Till I collapse. Eminem.
It's like
Right.
80. Okay, I'm just going to pick up the pace. Come on, let's get this legs
Got
going.
it.
I just don't like my legs slowing down so much.
So that kind of leads into my next, like what do you do to work on staying in 90, 95, and where's your gear so that you can work on those pushes and staying in that consistent?
That tempo.
Yeah.
It's music driven.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2.
I'm going to do that move actually.
Yeah.
On Monday, I have
The 1, 2, 1, 2,
the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You know, you have to
Those
have a
are really
certain
hard.
song to.
You do.
Yeah, the
It has
song
to be a slow enough tempo
Yeah.
that the 1, 2 makes you want to go faster.
Yeah.
But the 1, 2, 3 would be too fast if you kept that.
Exactly.
So it's the
Well,
combination.
then that can lead into Janet's question. That's how do you pick your music? And there it is.
It's a little different. I get in my mind, I know a lot of songs, so I have a lot of music I am aware of. A lot of my music, it's within a window of tempo. So in my mind, I figure out what I want to ride, what's my workout, and then I go find music to match it.
And that is what I try to, and Jess is newer as well, and this is one of the first things I trained her on, is I said, if you really, really want to ride a good spinning workout, first you write the workout,
Yes.
then you back the music in. Whereas
Exactly.
most instructors,
Oh, they do the exact
They do the
opposite.
opposite. Now, I'm not saying you can't like find a song and
Oh,
you're
no, I
like,
do that.
oh my gosh, I love this song.
Oh, I've done that. I hear a song, I want it, I add it, it's on that class, that
Exactly.
day's class.
But where do you fit it? So your workout's written and you take the song that you really want to add and you go, okay, where's it fit? What drill does it fit with? That's what I tell people to
Yeah.
do as instructor that are looking for advice. So
Exactly. So
because otherwise you force it.
Oh, and there's nothing worse to me. There's nothing worse than taking a class where you can hear the tempo, but we're not on it. It's like You don't hear the beat?
Well,
for a lot of people, though, that's
Yeah.
It's like being tone deaf or something else.
yeah. Well, thank goodness
happen-
for websites like Song BPM now, where the
Well,
instructors can look up the beat,
little known-
match the RPMs.
Little known. Well, and see, I have this psychological issue where I won't use Google Maps. It's like I know how to get places. I can figure it out. I don't have to have some device tell me how to find a location.
So what if it's somewhere new?
I'll figure it out.
You just go.
North, east, west, south. I've got those 4. That's a start.
Well, that's over.
That's really brave.
And then
That's
from there,
beyond most people.
And then from there, I narrow it down.
I mean, do you have a compass, or you
no,
just know it?
Yeah, basically.
He has
So
the
I-
compass called
Up
the
here.
sun.
Yeah.
My point is, I try not to use the BPM tools. I'd like to hear
Well,
it.
you can hear it. Sometimes,
hear it.
yeah. Where other instructors, other people, it cannot,
It's-
but you can. I know you can, which is one of the reasons I liked your class and hated other people's.
Okay, so Danny has a serious question too, by the way.
Serious. Let
I
me get
mean,
my serious
real
question.
serious.
Is this
Right.
Danny Clark?
Yes.
Hi, Danny.
He
Danny boy.
says, someone of similar age, do you get frustrated that you can't do some of the things that you used to be able to do?
No, because I convinced myself I never could do them in the first place. Yeah, of course I do. Yes. Yeah, Danny, I do. It's a bit frustrating. But what I do is I flip it psychologically and I say, look, I'm 61 years old, okay? I feel that at age 61, I am so blessed to be able to do so many things that I still do. So I try not to defeat myself by getting a little discouraged. I will tell you this, though, Danny. Years ago, I was a USPTA tennis professional. I taught tennis for years, and I was a good player. I haven't touched a tennis racket in 15, 20 years because I couldn't handle not being really good anymore.
Oh, I have a story too.
I couldn't handle
for
that.
this.
It's like, there's no way this guy should be able to beat me.
Yeah.
I could crush him. And so I just couldn't handle psychologically not doing really well.
I
So-
think that's tennis, though.
It is. So I took up golf. I took up golf
That's awesome.
because I suck. And I'm only going to get better.
Yeah. You
So-
start here,
That's right.
and you can get to here.
Find something you're not good at.
I'll go golf with you, Mike.
Okay.
So I have a funny story about that I
What's
want
that?
to share with you. So when I've for 21, I think it is Sundays in a row, I've done a 5-mile run.
Okay.
And I'm not really a runner. And so that was me getting out of my comfort zone. But I run on a treadmill because it's all in my control. Anyways, and that's what I like about it. And I do like to get outside, but I do shorter runs for that. Anyhow, so when I'm running on Sunday mornings, I always like to watch some sports. And the reason I like to watch sports is because I'm motivated by the athletes on the screen.
Right.
One Sunday morning, I started my run a little earlier than usual, and there was really hardly anything on TV and in any sports that had begun yet. So Brian comes out. I'm like, babe, come help me. And so the only thing he can find is tennis, and it was senior tennis, and it was men's.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time watching it, to be honest. I was just like, wow, this is so different than what I'm used to seeing when it
Right.
comes to tennis.
Right.
And the guy that won, do you remember his name, Brian? The guy that won. Anyways, they, of course, the commentator goes and tell me how,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this victory? And he's like, He's like, look,
I'm old and slow.
I'm old, I'm slow. Yeah, he's just like, I mean, I'm glad I won. It's good to get the prize money. And he's like, but am I proud of what I just did? Was the effort there? Do I think I did a brilliant job? No. And I was like, wow, those commentators and the sponsors must hate this guy right now, because he was super honest. And he thought, I did it because I could. And you're playing against people that are at your level. But he's just like, it's kind of pathetic.
I will say that's so funny. Danny, honestly, the one area that I struggle the most with is the loss of my running. I can no longer run the way I used to. I would run minimum 5 miles, 5 to 8 miles daily, every day, and I loved it. I just loved the rhythm. I'm good. I'm a natural runner. It's not there's no effort to me, and so now I just can't do it. My knees can't take it.
Well, that's where
It's just-
cycling is such a blessing, to be
It's
honest,
great.
because it's so low impact.
I,
so.
I do miss the running though. That's the one part of my life.
What else do you do? I'm going to jump in. What else do you do as part of your to stay active, to stay fit, to keep your muscle?
I've started indoor gym workouts. I'm starting to lift weights. Put on about 10 pounds.
Nice job, buddy.
Feeling pretty good.
Looking
up here.
man.
Jess is like a
I know I'm thin,
Boom.
but you should see me when I was younger. I was like skeletal.
Yeah.
So I do this. I just this is how dumb I am. I just discovered. So I get on a
Oh,
treadmill.
bless your little heart.
That's my little heart. I get on a treadmill, and I didn't know they had a pause button. So I get going. I jog, or I'll walk really fast. Get my tempo going, and push pause, jump off, do a quick set of weights.
Yeah.
Get back on and start it up again. So I keep switching back and forth.
Cross training, love it.
Yeah,
like
so
our
it's-
spin sculpt, but with a treadmill.
Yeah. So you just keep jumping on back and forth. It's cool.
So you are
Do
doing a
that.
lot of strength training.
I'm doing more strength training.
Yeah.
What
That's
else am I doing?
important and we do have lots of sculpt workouts on there for those of you that are watching. You have access to our library, tons of sculpt workouts. Maybe we should do one with you.
That'd be good.
The
The other thing I'm working on is this, and this is funny. So I'm working on in the morning, and when I brush my teeth, I do it on my left leg, standing with one foot only. And
like
hold-
balance.
And then in the evening, I do it on my right leg. And here's why.
What a good use of time.
Well, it is.
Seriously.
Well, and here's why. When you get older, what I'm discovering is beneficial is a slight reduction of cardio and an increase of core and balance work.
Mm-hmm.
Because very few people get injured because of cardio when they're older, but a lot of people fall over. Okay.
Right.
And
occupational stuff, walking, stepping off a curb.
Exactly. Little things like that.
Moving a barbecue. Like-
You're
Going to get the
physiologically,
Seriously.
you're not going to have as good a balance when you're older as you did when you were younger.
Right.
Your inner ear changes, physiologically, your
Everything,
body
yeah.
changes. So start working on things. Like I still take pride in the fact that I never sit down to put my socks on. I mean, how silly is that? But it's good because I lift a leg up and I try to put
Now,
my sock on,
the
and then
day
I do
that
the
you
other
can't.
side.
Are you the type of person that puts the sock, then the shoe on one, and then
Oh,
the
yeah.
sock, then the
That is
shoe
a
on
great
another?
question. Both socks?
Or do you do
No.
sock, sock, shoe, shoe?
It has to be sock, sock, shoe, shoe. It's just
Mm-hmm.
different. You have to. And here's why.
What do you
If
think?
something happens, no one wants to run out of the house with one shoe and one sock on, right?
He's got to do left and then right. Finish it.
Oh.
Finish the job.
Okay.
Oh,
I
Brian's
go,
saying that.
No, I go
Okay.
right then left, but then my shoes go left then right. You're getting a lot more information about me than you wanted.
Mike, what's your typical day look like?
Ooh. Let's see. So I have a regular job, and I get up. I'm at work at around 8. My background is in neuroscience, so I do a lot of curriculum design and development for management classes and training classes. So actually what I'll do is I'll jump on like either TED or YouTube, look for any current trending things that might be of interest to talk about or think about, and then I start developing content. I write, work for the day, get done. In the middle of the day, we have a gym where I work, and so I'll go in and do a workout at lunchtime, and then come back, finish out my work, get home. If it's a good day and I had a good workout, I treat myself to a neat Bushmills with a nice IPA.
It's your drink of choice?
That's my drink of choice,
Okay.
Bushmills or Dunsmore, one or the other, and that's about it. That's my only vice.
Gotcha.
I like whiskey. I like to sip of whiskey.
That's okay.
A couple times a week.
Everything in moderation, right?
Everything.
Hell no, to excess.
Oh, to excess. Okay.
That's why it's whiskey. God, it wouldn't be
I
whiskey if
apologize.
it was in moderation. My God,
mean, he's
I'm
drinking
Irish.
neat.
It's like I would be defying my country's heritage if I did it in moderation.
Totally understand. So we've learned your hobby is whiskey. What other hobbies do you have?
That's a good question. I don't really have hobbies. I read a lot. I like to read. I don't know if that's a hobby.
No, it is. Totally
Okay.
is. But what do you read?
Anything.
Like, I mean,
Oh, I
50
don't
Shades
do-
of Grey?
no,
Or do you
no.
read like,
Oh, no, I saw it in his bag.
No,
I saw it.
I prefer literature.
Okay. See? That's got to be specific.
I'm
you know?
teasing. So my guilty pleasure is I did go through like the Jack Reacher novel series, like 12.
They were good. They were-
those were good. They got to be the same.
They did.
I meet a girl, I have sex with her, I beat up bad guys,
Right. Winning.
I move on. I hitchhike out of there.
Yeah. While wearing his American flag.
I like history. I like biographies. I was a study of religion major in college. Actually, my degree was philosophy of history. So I like
The
philosophy.
things you learn in trainer talks. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like sort of esoteric things to read about.
Okay.
Big Word Friday.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. I like it. It's exciting. Do we just because I see we're close to running out of time? We try to cap it at an hour. We did start a few minutes late, so we might go a few minutes late. But give me some more. Is there any more questions?
So
Are there
there's
any more
there's
questions?
Just a couple, but one I just want to make sure you say hi to Liz. She's up in wine country.
Hi,
and She
Liz.
just said hi.
That's so nice.
Liz Smart.
Yes.
She's
Hi,
awesome.
Liz. Miss you.
Miss you.
We do.
The best pictures I got that one day was in studio, and it was just the two of you. And I think Liz was wearing her neon pants like normal. And I forget what I had you guys
Only person
do.
that looks good in those.
Only like stunning in those
Right,
colors.
right.
Oh, by the way, we got some new Studio Sweat merch releasing next week. No, I'm so
Are they
excited.
neon?
We have olive as our color
Ooh, I like olive.
of choice, but
pretty.
we've got these cool capris.
Oh
They
my
have
gosh,
a
that's literally
lightning
what Liz
bolt.
just asked.
Yeah, there's these cool capris, and they have a lightning bolt. Boom, 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 like is in our Studio Sweat
Right,
On Demand logo
right.
down the leg.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
the Studio Sweat logo.
That's
Anyways, just watch for it,
So
you
it's like
guys.
Harry
It's coming
Potter.
soon.
It's like
Oh, they're so freaking cool.
By the way, Liz says her power breakfast is whiskey and cornflakes.
There you go, Liz. You're my girl.
I think it might be the whiskey and the cornflakes. So
Oh,
perfect.
jeez. Oh, jeez.
Okay. And
Well,
then,
they both come from grains, so
right.
and we're
Think you
consistent.
learned.
The last one is Monique was asking about. She says she has 3 century rides
Oh, good girl.
that she's coming up, and she wants to know how do you fuel for the ride. She says she usually starts out with some of the carb gels. There's some jokes saying stop at a bed and breakfast. So I mean, I guess
That's one
I mean,
way.
you've got 100 miles, so.
I mean,
There's
you
got to be something between the start and the
biscuits
finish.
and gravy, perfect.
Okay, for reals.
For real, yes.
So I'll do some day before, a little bit of fat, a little bit of carb, just to have a base of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
During the ride, just some carb bars and a piece of fruit maybe, just to bring along with me.
What about like the hour and a half before or anything like that? Or is your breakfast different on the morning before a century ride than it would be?
No,
Okay.
no, it's really not.
What about caffeine?
I don't. I stay away from caffeine
Like altogether in life?
for about 3-4 days before the
Before?
ride.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll stay off alcohol. I'll stay off
I was
of
just gonna say,
caffeine.
and
No,
what
I
about
won't.
the
I won't
neat?
drink. No, I won't drink.
Nip the whiskey.
Well, I won't do anything that is already going to take water out of my body.
Yeah, anything
Okay.
that'll
Anything that's a
dehydrate you.
diuretic, I just don't.
Okay.
I
That's
won't
smart.
do that.
A lot of people, I think they think they need to change their diet. I mean,
Yeah,
how long does a century ride take?
On a good day, if you're really fast, 5 hours. On a bad day, if it's a lot of wind, a lot of hills, it could be
Yeah.
8 hours.
Got it. Yeah. Oh, that headwind, man. So a lot of people think though that for some of these shorter rides or challenges or even a spin class for that matter, that they should change their diet, especially for a race. And I've seen it backfire on people time and time again. All
I
of a
do
sudden
too.
they're pooping down their leg because they changed their diet.
Because
Yeah,
their
I'm
body
like-
is.
I'm
Because,
like, why did you do that?
well, you think about it this way: you're already changing what your body's going to be doing that
Yeah.
day. Why would you change what you put into your
do,
body,
right.
that is also going to be different that day?
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
whole
that's-
carb loading thing is like that's the one that people are still doing it. Even a lot of coaches. I've noticed that a lot of coaches for rec leagues and even competitive leagues and clubs and high schools, even like my daughter's team they would have carb loading parties, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
why do you got to change their diet like the
Right.
day before the big game? You're going to mess with their systems. Is my concern.
What I would say is, if you have 3 already under your belt, go back and look and say, how did I feel at the completion of each? Did I feel fatigued? Did I feel like I had no energy? And then start making adjustments. Each one's different. I don't have like a set routine. It depends on what the ride is. How much fuel do I need for this ride versus this ride?
I think too, people talk about food as fuel a lot, but for me, at least personally, and this is everybody's a little different, it's about hydration. Like that's like the key.
Far more important.
for me. Like and not just like when we're talking about an hour-long ride or spin class. Yes, we already talked about what we do for that, which is hydrate before. You won't see most good instructors drink much during their class. I'll tell you that, just like we talked about. But I do pre-hydrate, including, and if I do have a big, race or something that I'm jumping into, I'll really focus on my hydration the day before, even making sure going up to it the day before that.
I will say that the one thing you should be careful of in terms of century rides is I will add electrolyte.
That's what I was just gonna ask
I
you.
will
Will
not
you
go.
add that
I will
in?
not go straight water.
Yeah.
I will do electrolyte blends. I'll cut the electrolyte blend with water, but I make sure, because that's what's going to hit you after the race within a day or two is
Right.
the electrolyte imbalance.
And the loss of sodium.
Yeah, and that's where you're going to really hit.
What do you use?
Gatorade, I swear.
Yeah,
I do.
just Gatorade.
Yeah,
Straight up. I use Propel.
I
So
cut,
you just cut it.
Yeah.
I just
It's
cut
pretty-
Gatorade.
Yeah.
You know, and sure, it has sugar. Yeah, I get it, but so what? I'm burning calories.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
Coconut water, if
Coconut
you're looking
water's
for
good.
something more natural,
Yeah.
is a good one. But yeah, I'll tell people too, if they're super drained, even after an hour spin class, that more than likely, if you're feeling lethargy,
Yeah.
big word Friday, you probably need to replace your sodium and electrolytes. And I don't mean by, going to sushi.
No.
So getting some soy sauce.
Yeah, it was like not just like French fries, salt.
Yeah, you need to regain that energy. You probably, your
Sodium
electrolytes.
and potassium. A lot of people.
And potassium,
Potassium
yes.
is good.
Do you know some of the number one sources for potassium?
Coconut water.
Which,
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to go with coconut water,
I have
Kat.
another
Coconut
answer for you.
water?
I have another one for you.
Okay.
Spinach,
What's the number one
Spinach.
that people always say for potassium?
bananas, but
It's actually, yes, bananas,
Bananas
right?
is-
Bananas is on the, like, if you look at a top 15, it's probably 15.
Number 17.
Yeah, it is on there, but it's,
you know what it's actually better for?
tell me.
Is do not eat a banana when it's without brown on it. That sugar deposit is actually better for your glycemic index, which is for hitting less on your, if you're a diabetic or even a normal person. That it's actually better. That sugar is better for you when it has some of the brown spots. A lot of people are like, ooh, I don't want to eat those. They're
Right.
actually better for you that way.
But they're gross.
Yeah, I got to
Put
go
it
with
in
that.
Put in a smoothie.
You
don't see it.
Fruit is a weird
Chop it up or
thing.
put it in a
Yeah.
smoothie.
So
That's
if you eat an apple and it's mushy, it's like, ugh. But if
don't
you
buy
eat
that
but if
brand.
you eat a pear and it's crunchy, you're like, ugh. So I want my pears to be mushy, but my apples to be crisp.
Want
Like, where
your
did you learn that? What-
Bananas to be like.
Yeah, I don't want them green and
Brian
I don't want banana
Crunchy?
that makes a snapping
Yeah.
sound when I cut it.
Brian will only eat a banana if it's cut up, and he loves it. If
Like
it's
little
cut
slices?
up, like yeah.
Do you put on peanut butter and toast like Elvis?
Yeah,
olive
no,
oil?
he'll like it with like some strawberries cut up. But if I try to get him to eat, like I'm like, want to bite a banana? He's like, oh, ew, icky.
I think
really
that's
do it like that?
that's
Other sources of potassium that are really good. I'm going to back up.
Please.
White potatoes, white beans, any of those types of vegetables that have the word
one of my
white in them.
favorite foods is
And spinach, like she said.
white bean and kale soup.
Yeah. Oh, so tons of potassium
White bean
in
and
that.
kale soup.
Yeah. So that's surprising. You can Google it and look up what the top foods for potassium are. But, anyways, okay. Any closing thoughts, Mike? Anything that you'd like to? Because Jess, are we good? Okay. Any closing thoughts? Anything you'd
Yeah,
like to
so
sign off with?
I use this in terms of twofold, in terms of my life overall, and then as it pertains to working out. Where you are is exactly where you should be, given what you've been doing. And what I mean is, rather than allowing dissatisfaction to become the primary motivator behind working out, I'm not happy with the way I look. I'm not happy with my shape. I'm not happy about this. That's where you should be, given what you've been doing. So all you have to
fair.
do is do something different. It sounds so simplistic, but it's true. Just do something different. That's it. How do I get in better shape? Do something different. Mm-hmm. Just don't do what you're doing, because look at where you are.
You know what I'll tell people in class is like, you know what? This is your hour. This is your workout. You can do anything
Right.
except for nothing.
Right.
Don't you just stand there and look at me like.
Yeah. My last philosophy I use, it's my wife and my daughter say, it's so pessimistic. And I say, but yet it makes me so happy overall. And that's this: never underestimate the ability of people to disappoint you. It's what we do.
That's in nature. It's
It's
human
what
nature.
we do.
Yeah.
And so then what you do is you go around being
Yeah.
surprised.
How do you make that positive?
Well, here's how.
No, you do.
Like if someone said, like if I say to someone, you go to the store, hey, can you pick up some juice, orange juice for me, babe?
Babe.
And they say, sure. And they come back and they forgot the orange juice. Now, am I going to be disappointed? It's like, no, forgetting is normal. The brain is designed to forget. So, and if it was important
But
to
there's
have the
this
orange
thing
juice.
called a piece of paper.
Write it down.
well,
Make a list.
Well,
Just
there's
kidding.
this thing called, if you want something done, do it
Go
yourself.
get it yourself.
Go get the orange juice yourself, you idiot. That's really where the
You
flaw.
got it with the pulp. That's not what I said.
Touche. You're not wrong.
Babe.
Right. So yeah, it's what we do, and it's like, I'll finish with this last story. This is funny. I'm downtown San Diego, and I'm going to pick something up from a shop that was getting repaired. And I run into a friend, and I say, hey, what are you doing? She goes, oh, let's say she says, oh, I'm going to meet Kat for lunch. And she looks at her watch, and we're supposed to meet at 1. And she goes, if she's late, I'm going to really be pissed. And I looked at her, I said, wow, that's really impressive. And she goes, what? I go, you can actually schedule your anger. And she goes, what? I said, well, you're not mad now, but you will be in 10 minutes when Kat doesn't show up on time. You're going to be
You're
mad.
setting yourself up to be mad if I do
It's like,
that.
I said, like, do you have a day planner and you write 1:15, get pissed at Kat?
A lot of people have that in their calendar. I
They'll
think.
look like they'll say, I'm supposed to have a delivery today. If it's not there, I'm going to be so mad. And I'm thinking, but you're not.
Not
And
right
you
now.
already
Funny.
know that it might not be there. So
Yeah.
why not just forego the anger part and say, oh,
So what do you do?
I just say, oh, look, it's here. That's great. I wasn't expecting it.
Made it.
And if it's not there, I go, oh, I better find out why it's not here.
Yeah.
I just forego the anger part. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And if you know your friends are going to be late, then just cut
And you
them
know
some
which
slack.
friends are
Show
always
up late.
Tell them to meet at 1 and show up at 1:20 when they do.
Totally. Sometimes that backfires on me, though. I had a friend who was supposed to pick my daughter up for school. Hi, Diana. And she's doing me a favor. First of all, she's
Right.
taking my kid to school for me, which is really sweet. But I told her, I'm like, because I asked Chloe, okay, what time? She said 9:25. I said, I'm telling her 9:15 because I know you hate to be late for school. She shows up at 9:05. I'm like, oh, my bad. She's like, I get this text like.
Yeah. So you tell them, I'll meet you for lunch at 1, and then you show up at 1:15 because they're always late. But they're there, and they're like, wow, you're
Waiting
late.
for you.
Right. And so I just look at them and go, how does that feel?
Yeah.
Not very good, does it? Now
Touché.
now you know how I feel. There you go.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us
My
today.
pleasure. This was fun. Thank
I
you
know
all.
people were really excited
Monique
to
and
learn a little
Paige
bit more
and
about you.
Andrew and everybody. Thank you all.
Oh yeah, they're all saying thank you. They really enjoyed it. They love your stories.
All right, you guys, let us know who you would like for our next trainer talk by commenting below. Sorry, we switched you over to this page, but thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
And we'll
Thank
see you on
you,
the
Kat.
bike. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
You're so welcome. All right, bye, everybody.